We're going to check out a huge break the Browns might have caught going into week 4. But first, help us reach 37,000 subscribers. We are less than 100 away. Really appreciate the big push we got yesterday. But let's get to 37K. Let's do it for D'Anthony Bell, number 37 on the Browns. Let's get him a pick 6 for reaching 37K. What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into the Cleveland Browns report, and the Browns might have caught a huge break. David Njoku returned to practice today, limited, I believe, but still step in the right direction to get him back on the field. Myles Garrett spoke to the media like a man who sounds like he is going to play on Sunday, so whether you like that or not, it's definitely advantageous in the short term to have Garrett on the field against the Raiders when it feels like your season's kind of on the line. If you can't take down the 1-2 Raiders to avoid a fall to 1-3, you're probably just not a very good football team. But another break the Browns might have caught is just from a scheduling perspective and a timing perspective. Going up against the Raiders right now might be just what the doctor ordered for the Browns. I mean, for starters, check out the Raiders' run game. It's not a typo. They are the worst run game, arguably, in the history of the NFL. It's only been 3 weeks, but if things don't drastically, and I mean drastically, turn around, it's about to get a whole lot worse. They are dead last in everything. By the way, 153 rushing yards. Second, nowhere near them. They're in their own zip code. Second has over 200. It's been 3 games. They're averaging 50 yards a pop as a team. Collectively, it's been atrocious. The running backs aren't good. The offensive line isn't good. The ground game isn't good. I mean, there is nothing good about what the Raiders are doing on the ground, which, listen, every team would love to play against that every single week. But I think for the Browns, this comes at a very good time. You know what I mean? The Browns defensively are kind of looking to get that swagger going. Where's that 2023 Browns mojo at? What a great time to kind of turn things around and plant your flag with a nice little, and I don't want to say this to come back and bite me in the butt, but almost FCS level opponent when it comes to their ground game. Now, Derrik Klassen from The Athletic, he was writing about what he's noticed so far in the NFL, and I thought you guys might get a kick out of this. When talking about the Raiders' run game, never in my life as a conscious human being has there been a run game as ineffective as Las Vegas this year. 3 weeks into the season, the Raiders hold a putrid 20% rushing success rate, meaning 1 out of every 5 runs gets them enough yards to stay on schedule with the sticks. The other 4 are meaningless or downright harmful. Let's take this bad run game from the Raiders and use it as a momentum block, something to jump off of. Because if the Raiders can't run the football and the Browns know they can't run the football, that leaves the Raiders with one option: passing the football. And I like Garnder Minshew, but Jim Schwartz was pretty spot on in his analysis with Garnder Minshew when speaking to the media on Thursday. Minshew either gets the ball out really quickly or he holds on to it for a really long time. You hold on to that ball for too long, Myles Garrett's going to be on top of you. You try to get a receiver open very quickly on Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson, you're going to have a problem. So the defense is poised for a huge matchup and a one-sided affair against the Raiders. As long as they don't let Las Vegas come out and just completely hit the, Uno reverse 180 card and all of a sudden figure out how to run the football, the defense might outscore the Browns offense. I mean, that's how excited I am for this opportunity for Jim Schwartz's unit to really start to get on track. Not that they've been bad the first 3 weeks. They just haven't looked like their usual 2023 self, right? The first half against the Cowboys and Giants was not good, but they made the correct adjustments, and they were really good in the second half. They were stout against the Jags for, I would say, 3 out of 4 quarters, except with the end of the third and beginning of the fourth. But still, the Browns' defense hasn't been bad. It just hasn't been the best defense in football. That's the expectation for them, and that's a really high bar to meet. But yeah, you can pencil me down as excited to watch whether it's Garrett, Can we get Zadarius Smith all over Gardner Minshew? Smith had a sack against the Cowboys. He's been a little quiet the last 2 weeks. He had some nice plays against the Giants, though. Shelby Harris has gotten off to a really good start. Dalvin Tomlinson. How about some Okoronkwo? We got a sack for him on Sunday against the G-Men. I want to see this Browns defense flying around and just dominating and picking on this Raiders offense that can't block, banged up offensively, and can't run the football to save their life. So, yes, this is hopefully going to be the game where the Browns feel like, okay, we were kind of playing with our food a little bit the first 3 weeks, but this is the time where we get ourselves on the right path to get back to 500, go to Washington the next week, and then get above 500, hopefully, with Jim Schwartz going up against a rookie quarterback. Although we saw how Jaden Daniels was against the Bengals, he's clearly going to be a tough QB to play against. Now, another break the Browns might have caught is, if there is one thing the Raiders have to talk about, it's this guy, Maxx Crosby. However, he may not be available week 4. Similar to Myles Garrett, he's an absolute warrior, so he's going to try and play through an injury, but he's dealing with a high ankle sprain that might keep him off the field. And I'll expand on that and more good news and breaks and things like that before this matchup in just a second here. But today's show was made possible thanks to our friends over at Mando. See, personally, I walk to work most mornings. I walk to work this morning, and you don't want to walk to your office, to school, anywhere, and be the stinkiest guy in the room. But with Mando's whole body deodorant, you can kick that odor to the curb. You see, Mando's got this awesome deal for the dog pound where new customers can get $5 off their starter pack at shopmando.com with promo code CHAT. Now, what is the starter pack? Well, it comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes. Plus, because they love you guys, they're giving you free shipping. So luckily, I've got that discount code, like I mentioned, to help you guys get hooked up on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers can get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code CHAT. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Go support Mando. They do such a great job of supporting us here at Chat Sports. So if you're looking to up your deodorant game, visit Mando today. Now let's get back to Maxx Crosby, who, like I mentioned, suffered a high ankle sprain at the very end of the Week 2 matchup with the Ravens. And in Week 3, he played 82% of the snaps. That might not seem like a bad day. 82% is a lot for a defensive end. Keep in mind, he played 100% the first 2 weeks of the season. In fact, for the last few years, more often than not, he has played 100% of defensive snaps. It's one of the most impressive things, I think, in the NFL, his conditioning and his athleticism to never go off the field. And he really doesn't even take plays off when he is on the field. No one's played more snaps, by the way, than Maxx Crosby since he entered the league in 2019. The next highest is Deron Payne. He's about 400 snaps behind him. That's how much of a lead Crosby has. So this offensive line would love it if Max decided or just was advised to maybe take this week off and let that ankle get right. It's a long season. You don't want to damage it. You don't want to make it any worse. And with the Browns' offensive line already dealing with plenty of injuries of their own, some shuffling going on, we'll have to wait and see if Wills and or Conklin plays, what the game plan is, Wyatt Teller on IR. They can take every single break they can get. And Maxx Crosby potentially not playing for a guy that's got 3 sacks in 3 games, that would be a big break. I think you could put that down in the huge break category for the Browns. Now, if Crosby cannot go, the Raiders still have a really talented defensive line. Who remembers Christian Wilkins from free agency? Miami Dolphin last year, he had 9 sacks. He has not gotten off to a really good start so far this year. 11 tackles, half a sack, 2 QB hits. Just has not been as disruptive as he was last year in South Beach. So, for me, this just has to be the week where it all clicks. The defense has not had very tough opponents so far. You know what I mean? Cowboys are good, but let's not pretend like the Jags and Giants are world beaters. So for them, this has to be the game where they take advantage of the matchups and really build up some momentum and can build off of that for the next few weeks. And for the offense, I mean, if the defense can give them a couple of short fields because of some turnovers and some key stops, and the Browns offense turns that into points and cashes in, all of a sudden, you've got a great complementary football team here. The defense helping the offense moving down the field, letting the defense hang out on the sideline for a few extra minutes, and we've got perfect yin and yang going on for the Browns. This has to be it. If it doesn't happen this week, it ain't happening this year. So predict the score for me, Browns versus Raiders, down below in the comment section. I've got the Browns. I'm nervous how much I like them. I'm confident. You should be confident. Don't be scared. Let me know your score predictions down below. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you enjoyed our content, feel free to subscribe. Hit that sub button down below. It does help the channel grow a ton. And I'll see you guys throughout the week, but of course on Sunday for our Browns versus Raiders watch party.